I want you all to picture yourselves. I want you to picture your face, your body. How would people describe you? You exist, right? Now, what if that all just vanished? What if suddenly you cease to be? You become a ghost. You just disappear. You can't perceive yourself anymore, and you don't even have a name. This is what I lived with for over a year. I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, which is essentially schizophrenia with the mood features of bipolar. Fun stuff. And it manifested in a few different ways for me, but the more prominent symptom that I had was I thought I was dead. People would acknowledge me, they'd call my name, and I'd simply respond, I'm not here right now. I'm dead. Sometimes I would be hiding behind pillows, I'd be hiding behind couch cushions, just kind of cringing and screaming internally, sometimes externally in fear, because things just didn't add up. How were people looking at me? How could people even see me when I was gone? Sometimes I'd look in the mirror and I'd expect nothing to be staring back at me. I wouldn't just not recognize my reflection. I wouldn't expect any reflection at all. Even little things like I'd be sitting on the computer typing and watching little cat videos, and I'd look down and be like, I have hands. What? I don't have hands, but what are these doing here? It was awkward. And then there were these times that I would sometimes just try to walk through a wall, and I would just kind of awkwardly bump into the concrete, kind of wondering, hey, why can't I phase through this? I wonder. And it was just a time full of nonstop panic and confusion. I would not be able to calm down because nothing in my life, or lack thereof, made any sense to me. One of the questions that I get pretty often when I do share this secret with people is, did you eat? Did you poop? I swear, I've never had so many people take an interest in how I take a shit. Yes, I did eat. I did use the restroom. And no, I didn't really want to, but if I didn't, I would feel pain. I still was technically alive. So I would find a way to eat, use the bathroom, and avoid being in pain, even though I would still be acknowledging that I had a body. The number of times I'd have a panic attack because I had to pee, there were a lot. Now, people sometimes also ask me, what do you think brought this on? Was this because of depression, anxiety? Did you hate yourself? I think it's more that I didn't have an identity. I didn't know who I was. I was basing myself off of what I was doing in the moment, what my goals were. I was more of a what than a who. And I was at a crossroads in my life. I was going into college. I was starting my freshman year here at Stony. And I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. And if you're prone already to thinking bizarre, strange thoughts, it kind of makes sense why that would manifest as, oh my God, I don't exist. With me, I realized I can get through this. It was hard, but I realized I started to go for help, and I realized there was an emptiness in me. There was a nothingness that consumed me. And I could channel that nothingness, that great emptiness, into something that could target my anxiety and my fear and my paranoia. I was able to focus on nothing when I was trying to, not trying, but my mind was trying to think everything. I'm being bombarded with thoughts of life and death and my existence and fear of this and fear of that, but I could just bring myself back to nothing. In a way, my greatest weakness became my greatest strength. I realized my life was changing. I was going into college. And people who know me will say that I'm generally pretty stubborn. So this was not an easy transition for me. I realized sometimes in order to learn how to go with change, you have to really drastically change yourself, because the world isn't necessarily going to bend to your very will and power. So, in pretty much becoming totally destroyed by my thoughts, by my mind, I realized I can bring myself back. I can come back as a person who is resilient, who can stand up to my own mind, to the situation that I've been thrown into. And nothing taught me that more than being in a house fire. My house burned down just a few months before I started college. And it was then that my thought of me being dead started to really act up. The fire destroyed my house, almost everything in it. Nobody was harmed physically, but I think that we were all pretty traumatized. But we were able to rebuild our house. We were able to get a better house that was more suited to like modern technology, modern building requirements, no lead piping, and we were able to adapt to the world because we had destroyed what didn't work, not on purpose, but it was still gone. I realized maybe my mind was trying to tell me that the way I was thinking, the way I was acting, just didn't work. So I had to start from like square one on finding out who I was, what was my identity. One of the first features I came up with and realized that I had was I was resilient. I had been through a lot. I had died. I had been through a fire. I had been through high school. I had started here at Stony, and that was a lot. And I realized, wait, this isn't the end. This is just a new beginning. Going back to the fire, I was burned to ashes and consumed by dust and by darkness. And then I just rose up, stronger than before. Not fully healed, but stronger. When you have a fire in the wild that just destroys a forest, it destroys everything indiscriminately of whether it's good or bad, whether you like it or not, whether it's a cute deer or an icky spider. It destroys it. But that is the only way that the environment will change to adapt to a new age. It allows for ecological succession, new plants coming in, new animals coming in. With people, it's very, very similar. Sometimes, if what you have doesn't work, you have to rethink yourself. I'm not saying that you all need to start thinking that you're dead. Please don't. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But sometimes you have to evaluate, who am I really? And who does this world need me to be? There's a fire inside of all of us, a guiding light, if you will. And I realized that the same fire that consumed me and destroyed me was also guiding me. I realized that the same metaphorical fire was giving me life, and it was letting me kind of find my way through the darkness that is severe mental illness, and that I could share that same light with others who are struggling in a similar way. I can show them how to be resilient. I can help people figure out what their options are and realize that, yes, recovery is possible. I mean, I thought I was dead. Sometimes I didn't speak for days on end because I was so afraid of existing, really. And I realized that there are so many people in this world who just don't know how to recover or that they can. And that's a sad reality that we live in. Now, I could just go out there, I could help people find their way through a similar darkness because I thought I was dead and now I'm back. I've been through weird stuff. I think I can understand where a lot of people are coming from. Now, people don't have to struggle with mental illness alone. I happened to, and that was awful. I didn't know that there were different resources out there, support groups, internet forums that I could go on to connect with others who had similar experiences as me. The stigma around mental illness is so intense. There's such a hush-hush attitude, even regarding recovery and treatment, that people sometimes don't even know what there is. Now, coming back from this awful experience, I grew a lot as a person. I mean, I was literally as low as a person could be. I didn't exist. So the only way I can go was up. So I realized that my life isn't over. This is just a new chance for me to be who I was meant to be, do this right this time around. I am resilient. I have different traits that let me succeed in this world. Pretty much I died. I thought I was dead, and I came back stronger than before. They always say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, I say, hell with that. If you die a little along the way, you'll come back even stronger still. Thank you.